Welcome to Yap City. This is our second episode.
Yup.
We made it. We made it to
La La Land.
We're out here.
This isn't a green screen, y'all. This is fucking real.
We See
that? It's crazy.
I've been out here for almost 3 weeks now. Gracie had to come out for the trip. First time in LA.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
It's really cool. It's very quiet in some parts, not all parts. We're staying in Topanga, and it's a lot more chill up here.
It's gorgeous.
I like the people. I like the vibes. I like the mountains. I like everything. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's like no other part of America at all.
Yeah. I'm from California, so born and raised.
Hype her up in the comments.
So this is like kind of a weird trip for me because I haven't been home in like over a year and a half.
Yeah.
The first until Gracie got here and one of my other friends, Nate. Shout out Nate. I've been out here pretty much in isolation for like 2.5 weeks.
How's that been? Interview time.
I think everyone should take a little break like that and kind of like learn things about yourself, especially coming from New York because you're constantly surrounded by noise. And I know a lot of us got roommates and stuff.
Real.
So, you know, unless you're like living on your own, which is like not something a lot of people can afford, it's like very good to just like get out and do something isolated or on your own. I advise it. I've learned so much about myself and like what it means to like be really alone, like with my thoughts. I think I went a little freaking crazy the first week I was here. Yeah, no. I like my favorite thing right now is it's been the voice notes.
Yeah, this bitch has been sending me voice notes like motherfucking crazy.
I've been on the voice notes thing for a bit now, but I don't think I'll ever stop. Like, how do you express things over text anymore? Like, we don't really use...
Yeah. I think I find it very difficult to, like, engage in a conversation when it's just a bunch of words.
Yeah.
I would much rather have a phone call, a voice note, or come see me, motherfucker, type shit.
Real, pull up. What did you say the other day? We're like, people need to start knocking on doors again.
We need to bring back knocking on doors 2024.
Yeah.
Whenever you wanted to, like, play with a friend as a kid, you'd be like, hey, is Sarah was my like childhood best friend. Is Sarah home? Can she come out and play? You would knock on their door or call their house phone. Bring back landlines. Bring back knocking on doors.
Oh, I'm so for landlines. My parents still have a landline.
For a landline. Oh, same. They got a landline in like every room in the house.
Yeah.
Like when the phone rings, everyone knows that someone's calling.
But for some reason in my house, they'd always be dead. Like
no one plugs them in.
No one plugs them in. But I remember like being a kid and like I would get home from school after like walking home with my friends and then we'd immediately get on the phone with one another and like ask each other's parents. Like
that reminds me and my friend Bailey when we were kids. I'm just shouting at everyone. Childhood friends childhood friends shout out on the pod type shit. Anywho, I used to go home every day after school, and when the iPod Touch was just a thing, iPhone didn't exist yet. So we had like flip phones or the landline phones, which we could call each other on, but we thought it was cool to like call each other on text free.
Oh my God.
Yeah, text free would give you 7 minutes a day. So we would talk on text free for 7 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, love you, gonna call you on the landline.
Real.
And then I'd call her on the landline.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, text free was the shit.
I always wonder if my parents were like listening in. Like, I think if I had a kid,
up the phone.
No, seriously, if I had a kid and like, I kind of plan to use a landline in my house.
Yeah, I want a landline.
Yeah,
for sure.
You got to, because like I feel like eventually by the time I get to be a parent, like I'm gonna want off Snapchat and Instagram.
Fuck Snapchat. Fuck
like, there's
Snapchat.
no way I'm gonna be like 35 with like a baby or something.
There's no way I'm gonna be 25 on Snapchat. I'm gonna be 25 this summer. I cannot be 25 on fucking Snapchat. That's embarrassing.
No, I was off it for so long, and then recently, because it's like a lot of my childhood friends are on that too.
Yeah,
it's
like my little sister is on that.
Yeah. Like I want to keep in touch that way too. That's the modern landline. No.
I saw this ad in the subway the other day, and it's like less social media, more Snapchat. Huh?
They're coming back for the advertising game.
But how does that make sense? Less social media, more Snapchat? Isn't Snapchat social media? Or I guess they maybe mean like...
I don't know. That's kind of a texting app at this point. Who's up posting on the
I don't know.
stories
People,
like
I don't
that?
know. The amount of money that people will make off Snapchat subscriptions.
Oh my God. I was like reading about that too.
Yeah, like Bryce Hall disclosed that he makes like $10 million a month. I don't know
No
if that's completely
way.
true.
No
Let me
way.
not quote shit on the podcast, actually.
Yeah.
Something like 10 million something. I don't know in what time frame, but he
Maybe
makes
a
like
year?
$10 million. I think like maybe a year.
Yeah.
From
A month would be
Snapchat.
fucking insane though. I'd be
watching
I don't know.
Dr. Miami on that motherfucker though.
No, yeah. I was gonna say I tune into like people that I used to follow in like middle school, like Ava Godowski. Do you remember her?
Yes.
Or My Life as Ava.
Yes.
Her Snapchats are fun. She was just like on a big ski trip recently.
I love that.
And I don't know why, but I just like eat that shit up. I'm like, please tell me about your personal life. What are you doing now?
I know. To be an influencer must be so much fun.
Yeah.
You know what? Some people like to act like influencers and they aren't. Like, sorry, I'm gonna humble y'all. Like when I go on Snapchat and I'll see that I'm subscribed to an old friend from high school.
Oh no, I eat it up, especially if I'm
why
like,
am I subscribed to you?
I used to feel hurt by it because I'm like, damn, like you didn't want me, like.
They didn't fucking want me.
But now it's like funny. It's like, yes, I'm gonna tune in. I'm your biggest fan now. Like,
No,
if you
I'm
want
gonna
it that way,
unsubscribe.
then go ahead.
Go ahead and add me to your subscription list. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
pay the fee. What's your premium actually?
What's your rate?
What's
Wait.
your rate?
We I think also like influencer culture. So like we've been out here for a couple of days now.
I landed and the first
exploring.
thing I saw was an influencer. The first thing.
I saw fucking Jojo Siwa in that Tesla. I'm so bad at spotting celebrities in public. Like I'm just not good at it. Like
Karma's a bitch.
No, she was yapping in that Tesla. We need to get her
We
on
need
the
to
pod.
get her
We
right
gotta come
here.
up. Yeah.
Jojo Siwa, we got a seat for you.
See, like, but honestly, like, I feel like a lot of people make fun of her, but I'm the same fucking way in the car. Like those voice notes, like back to that. Like I'm just like in the car, ready to talk.
My iPhone's
And who's
overheating.
there? Oh, shit. It's a little toasty today.
It's a little toasty out here, but no, I'm the same way in the car. Like, obviously, like we don't really drive cars a lot in New York City. No, people should be able to be free in a car. You should be able to do whatever the fuck you want,
1000%.
even if the windows aren't tinted. Dance, sing, look like a fool. It's
Pick
your
your
car.
nose.
Pick your nose. It's your bubble. It's literally a bubble.
Real. Yeah. That is like, it's not very eco-friendly for everybody to be having a car in this condensed. I mean, LA is such a big layout, but like,
Yeah.
there's so many freaking cars. We went to Santa Barbara yesterday, and I literally think I was about to lose my mind sitting in that traffic on the PCH. Like, I don't know if you caught that, but
No,
I was
caught
like
that, bro.
silent and just grunting. But
Silent, and your literal chest was on the car wheel.
yeah,
I was like, oh,
yeah, no,
this bitch is trying to catapult into another dimension right now.
yeah.
These haters on my body, shake 'em off.
So yeah, being in LA for a few days, I think that the number one thing that I notice is like the hugest difference between, you know, New York and Los Angeles is just the pace. It is so calm out here,
Yeah.
and I don't know what really makes that difference between the two places, but New York is so fast-paced compared to here.
I think like growing up here and then coming back, like it's like something I hadn't really paid attention to before, which like honestly I get it. I feel like I'm way less motivated, but it's like, why would I be? Like, look at this shit.
Yeah.
I want to go for a hike every day. I want to
Shit is
go
crazy.
like do my own thing and explore, but it's hard, I feel like, if you're adjusted or accustomed to like New York speed and the movement and the rapidness. Like, I feel like I would really struggle moving out here if I wasn't like constantly on a project or a film or whatever it be. But I don't know, what do you think? Could you make the move?
I could make the move out here, definitely. I could probably see myself living here for like 2 years, or doing some sort of hybrid living situation like you were talking about, like, you know, having New York as your home base and LA as like, you know, I'll take work out there and I'll stay out here for like 3 months and I'll like be susceptible to like, you know, living out here. But I wouldn't, if I was rich enough, I would buy a place out here and just like come when I wanted to.
Oh, what the fuck, yes.
But
yeah, that's the dream.
That's the dream. But yeah, no, I could see myself making the move out here. I would just have to obviously buy a car
Yeah.
and acclimate a lot.
I feel like getting a car from Charleston out here would be atrocious.
Yeah, that would be fucking awful.
The miles
Scaling
alone.
the whole country would be crazy. In a car?
I would like to one day.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I've been thinking about. I am like obsessed. I've been obsessed with the Pacific.
Let me be more Pacific.
Not that one.
Okay. Old
been-
Vine.
The Pacific Coast Trail. I think when I'm 25, I need to do that shit. There's something like so crazy about. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It's a trail that it takes like months to do, like at least like 3.
Kind of like the El Camino?
Yeah, I think so. It's like you're going from the coast of Mexico in California, like the border. I mean, not the coast.
Mhm.
And then you're going, it's like a trail and it's secluded and you can like go on the trail, but it's like, it's pretty, you follow it all the way up to the Canadian border.
So it's just like a trail. It's not like a religious thing?
No.
Okay, because I was just wondering, because I think it's the El Camino de Santiago is like this religious hike in, I think it's Spain. And you go from like through different countries. And then you get to like this place that kind of looks like that spot in Slab City. Like it's just like beautiful rocks, and it's like the Camino de Santiago. It's pretty, but it's like a religious thing. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because some of those hikes are religious. Like it's like you reach.
Yeah. Well, it's like if I did that, I wouldn't bring an iPhone. I would
No
literally,
iPhone?
Yeah, no iPhone. I don't want to be on that. I would literally bring like some kind of phone that I could be like no social media, like burner phone type of thing. Luckily, I have podcasts.
Somebody just walked by like so slowly.
We smiled.
He smiled.
I do love that about California, and like I mean like you can find it in New York too, but a lot of people in like this neighborhood specifically, like they'll smile, they'll say hello. Like everyone on these like roads says hello as they're driving by.
I think that's sweet. I think that's important. I really do appreciate that about different parts of America's culture, like especially in the South. Like it's very like culturally like accepted that we smile and wave.
Yeah.
And we ask how people are doing, and we listen to what they want to talk about, and we yap.
Yeah.
And sometimes in New York I'm just like, damn, I wish people would just like stop for a second and like, you know, say hello. I mean, it's not that people don't do that. People do that, but it's just very rare that you're like, oh my God, someone just like actually wanted to talk to me for a second.
Yeah.
Or wave hello.
I think I wonder because like from my perspective, like it gets very hard for me to like approach people, to like have like if I spot somebody, it's hard to approach people anywhere. I think that's like something that not everyone may have the confidence for.
Yeah, it definitely takes confidence.
Yeah, but I feel like it might be like other people's perspective as well. So
my friend Katie sent us a quote earlier, which
shout out
Katie. Shout out
Hey,
Katie Oakley.
Katie.
But Katie got the quote from their partner, Emily. And Emily said that the dichotomy of New York City is fun hell and LA is shitty heaven. So we want to touch on that.
Yeah. I think it has to do a lot with like when it comes to mind, like that quote, what comes to me first is like nightlife almost. Kind of like
people talk a lot about the nightlife in New York City versus Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's a huge difference.
I mean, we have yet to go out. We're gonna make it.
We'll make it out.
'Cause like that was a beautiful butterfly.
That was a pretty butterfly.
I feel like it's very like New York nightlife is like super rampant in a way. It's like you're like moving around a lot.
Yeah, it's that fast paced shit.
Yeah, seriously. Like I swear, like some nights will go from like spot to spot to spot to spot, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah. I'm the type of person that just likes to stick it in one spot, honestly.
Really?
Like stick it in 1 or 2 spots for the night. If I'm going clubbing, I'll go to one spot, honestly. If I'm going out to like a bar to play pool, have a few beers, I'm down to hit like 2 or 3 spots.
Yeah.
But clubbing, I kind of just go to one spot.
Yeah. I feel like if you find a good spot, then it's like I definitely want to stick around.
Yeah.
Like if I can dance with my friends, then I'm there.
But NYC being fun hell is funny because NYC can be fucking hell sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're on the subway in the summer and it's hot as hell.
Oh my god, my body, like, and also like we've been talking so much about the fucking food and like
Yes.
the difference between like here and there. It's like I grew up with like a granola mom. We had an organic fridge growing up. Like you get trail mix for a snack type of shit and like oats or something. But like and like no seed oils and whatnot. And I feel like that's kind of a big California thing and something that I can't like. I've been out in New York for 3 years now and like I can't even adjust to the food. Like it's so hard for me because like I don't know, my stomach is just wired a certain way, but like
She built different.
I'm built different. But it's like like my body feels so healthy and my gut is like, because your gut is such an important part of your like mental health too. Like it's so important. And like taking probiotics and taking the right vitamins and supplements and like getting whole foods is such a like important thing for your
Going
health,
to Whole Foods.
which is like why it's so hard too in New York, because like I swear like in LA you're driving around a lot to get to places, but like when you're taking the subway or taking a trek across town by foot or like even a bike, it's like you're constantly moving. And when you are eating less quality of food, which is like food is already so fucking expensive, but like if you're trying to shop healthy, it's almost impossible. So now it's like you're not eating the best food and your body's running off of that. That's really hard on you.
It is really hard. But I think when I was a kid with YouTube, like I remember telling my mom and dad, they can testify, I used to be obsessed with Los Angeles and just California as a whole. I wanted to move out here so badly.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. It's my first time ever in California.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful to be out here. But I was just so obsessed because of YouTube culture, like O2L, Acacia Brindley, Andrea Russet, like all of those people like really like shaped what I thought like LA was, and just like they made life look like so much fun, and YouTube was just like a blast back then.
Yeah.
Like we used to give people millions of views and likes to be lip syncing to a song that they didn't write in front of a camera.
Yeah. But it was like the most fun. Like
It was fun.
know. It was a time to be alive.
I think YouTube is making a comeback in a way that like people are being a bit more like authentic.
Yeah, I agree. And in events in general, like I think post-pandemic, I feel like this year and this like coming up summer is like hopefully kind of like a revival of like bringing back life and events, and that's what it really starting to feel like. Like I don't know if you follow Indie Sleaze on Instagram. Shout out Indie Sleaze, because it's like such a fun Instagram account. Like that era truly also reminds me of like when YouTube was big. Like I feel like we were younger, so we were attracted to more like entertainment aspects. But like if you were on Tumblr as well, like there was just a lot to look up to, because we were younger during that age. But like following the Indie Sleaze account and watching them post like the Coachella pics from like 2007, 2008 or whatever, it would be, honestly I feel like this year was the most similar to that kind of experience. I'm sure that like there's still a lot of cell phone usage, and like I'm sure that crowd looks like phones when you look up, which is kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it's tough when you go to a concert and like you look up and you're like, damn,
I'm
not even seeing the performer right now, I'm just seeing a bunch of phones.
Real. Like last night we were in Santa Barbara, and I think that was like a shock for me, that like, because I went to school in Santa Barbara so for 2 years before I moved to New York, and then it felt like the same from back then, and I thought that was like very nice to come back to and like retreat to. It made me really nostalgic, but that's okay. But we went to this like IV, which is like UC Santa Barbara's like college town. They have like a lot of, they'll do like band shows on lawns and in backyards and stuff, or front yards or whatever it be, and you can kind of like just walk up anywhere and go watch these performances, and it's so sweet. Like there was this one like pretty large crowd and everyone was dancing. Like you'd see a phone pop up like once like every couple minutes, but it's like everyone just being in that moment, and
They were truly enjoying.
Yeah.
It was nice to see.
I do miss that about like living in a beach town and living in like kind of more, it's like your circles all surrounded you, versus I think that's kind of what my California experience is been for the most part, versus like it's a bit harder to connect with people too in New York because there's just so much stimulation.
Yeah, so much stimulation and so much like there's a lot of popularity competition, especially with like social media and just like not even social media, like how cool you look as a person. Like, do I want to associate myself with you because are you the vibe?
Real. Which sometimes that's how you know too. It's like I feel like it cuts the bullshit at times, but I think like it can also be hard because even I catch myself doing this, but like quick to judge like somebody based off like looks.
I mean, that's inevitable. I mean, that's a part of the human experience. You can't really avoid having, you know,
but I really
that kind of feeling about somebody.
Been trying to like take that out of my like how I view people.
Out of your mind, out of your internalizations.
Yeah.
Because everyone has internalizations for people and observations that we make that are not consciously what we, you know, want to be doing.
Real.
But it'll happen. Yeah. And then you might catch yourself and you might be like, damn. But then there's some people that just don't catch themselves and it's just inevitably what keeps happening and happening and happening. And then they kind of surround themselves with people that
I definitely think it makes it easier in a way sometimes too though, because like it's like if I feel like the judgment coming off of someone and I feel like they're just not really vibing with me, it kind of normalizes that, like, you know, you don't fit in everywhere and that's okay.
Sometimes the book just needs to be closed immediately.
Yeah.
Like we read the cover page, we read the read the front page,
the reviews maybe even.
We might have just read the back.
Yeah.
We might have not even opened the book. Sometimes stories aren't meant to be made with other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just meant to run into people and meet them once.
Yeah. That's very important.
I think that's a hard thing. Yeah,
too.
I think that's a super important thing in your work. Sometimes you aren't meant to continue relationships in a working environment with a certain person or a certain company or et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think it's super important to like realize that that's okay and that's normal. And sometimes it's hard to grapple with because you might meet somebody or have an opportunity and you're like, damn, I was feeding for that. I want it more.
Yeah.
But sometimes life just really closes doors and they're closed for a reason, but it does certainly create a level of uncertainty.
Yeah. I think it's very hard to, like, because, like, to be real, it's, like, obviously not everyone. I've had, like, very good experience with people, but sometimes there's, like, somebody that I really wanted, like, a project or something to work out, and you just get to work with them, and you're like, that's not how I work. That's not my vibe, my style. But I think it's very important finding and, like, listening to your gut and being like, okay, this is somebody that I want to work with. This is somebody that I don't want to work with.
It's always nice to find somebody that you want to work with. It's harder to find somebody that you don't want to work with ever again because it's like, damn.
Yeah.
You build up that thought in your mind that you're like, damn, this is going to go amazing. This is going to be super fun. But sometimes you just have to learn, like, I'm never working with that person again.
Yeah.
Never.
It's tough.
It's tough. And
Sorry,
it might be.
Peace and love. Wish you the best.
Peace and love. Wish you the very, very, very best. But sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Yeah. Learning experiences.
Yeah. Everyone has different styles of the way that they work. And if yours doesn't work with someone else, you leave. It's like the same thing for a retail job. If you don't like the retail job that you're working at, you know what you do? You try to find a new one and you leave as soon as possible.
Shit, if you can find another one.
If you can find another one.
Yeah, because even that's fucking hard to come
by. The epidemic of not being able to find a retail job is absolutely insane. Post-COVID, it's just like, why is it so hard for people to find a serving job, a retail job? Every single, finding any job is difficult, which is just like so insanely stupid.
I think post like academic experience, like coming out of school, it's like it's very hard to be put into the position where you like have to do the things that you need to do to get by, like retail and whatever work that it takes for you to get where you need to go.
Yeah.
But it's very, very fucking tough to come out of an academic setting and be like, I learned all of this stuff and I was in a sphere of this, and this education, because it's very, very tough to come out of that.
Yeah. I think when I first moved to New York, I got really upset because like I went to school and I got this degree and I got a lot of experience under my belt. But, you know, life is all about experience and you have to gain more and more to gain notoriety. And I think that was just tough for me sometimes because I would see people that are like, oh, I didn't go to school. I didn't study this. I didn't do that and this, the other. And then they have like insane opportunities. And I'm like, why the fuck is that not me?
Yeah.
And I would just get really upset about that. And
I think that's been hard for me even too. Like, because I just graduated last December. And it's like, even like my friends, it's like, it's hard too because like a lot of my friends are older than me and I need to recognize that sometimes, or like have been out of graduation. But it's very difficult to like see people like going up and doing what, you know, you dream of doing. And it's hard to like kind of withdraw your own personal emotions for that.
yeah,
It's
sure.
not very hard. Like first of all, it's like, in my opinion, very important to like be excited for your community to be hitting those points, like, you know, like draw away from that centeredness around yourself. But it's like very, it can be discouraging even because it's like, why am I not good enough for that? Like, I've been working so hard. Like, it's hard not to be in that self-deprecating mode.
Yeah. It's hard as an artist because, you know, freelancing is not set. No matter how successful you are,
Yep.
it is not a set schedule. You will not have a gig that's completely set unless you're working like on something that is just like, I don't know, like fucking Wendy Williams. Like, you know, you're going to film every blank date, but still that's probably not enough to sustain someone's income.
Doula peep.
Doula peep.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like having sustainability for your financial, you know, pockets of your life, and also just like your mental pockets of your life is tough when it comes to freelancing because it can be very emotionally taxing. And especially when you're doing work for free. Like when I first moved to New York, I did shit ton of work for free. And it just like comes to a point where you're like, all right, well, when am I going to be worth, you know, money? When am I going to be worth, you know, something to be paid for?
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to grapple with. And I think it takes a long time to like stand up for yourself and really like say like, this is my rate. This is what you're going to, you know, have to meet me at. And if that doesn't work for the both of us, I'm really sorry, but you know, this won't work out because you have to just defend yourself in freelancing because that's the only thing that sucks about it too. Well, there's a lot of things that suck about it, but really having to like set your rate, set your ground, and pave your own way.
I also feel like that's kind of a big difference between New York and LA, is I've kind of had a realization, which like is hard because it's like I want to stay in New York, but like I consider LA a lot too because there's just not as much money in like the entertainment and like media sphere, and in a lot of arts in New York, it's very hard to come by. It's like you can find great gigs, but it's like sometimes the money just isn't there. Like I really want to be a part of certain projects, and I'm going to do them regardless because like what would I would rather work for free than to sit around and do nothing.
Exactly.
Too.
Sometimes you do just have to take the free work because it's like, if you've got this opportunity and you've got the time in the world to give, give it. Fully. Because things will pay you back in tenfold. Like I saw somebody like say, you know, New York is the kind of city that will pay you back for what you give. Yeah. And that just goes for anything. That goes for the emotions that you give into the city, the time, the energy. It will pay you back in tenfold. It's like karma.
I've kind of been very much slowing down my media consumption since I've been out here too, which is like kind of wrapped into like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of taking a step back.
Well, people might have to take a step back soon with TikTok getting banned.
Hey.
Shit. If TikTok gets banned, I'm going to be out of a job. So hit me up in the comments down below if you guys have job openings.
Like.
No one's going to hit up.
It's okay.
People are out here looking.
Yeah.
People are out here struggling.
You got a year.
Yeah, we got a year until... It's been a year, Daddy.
I think we would have different opinions on this, but I'm actually kind of... I don't know if I'm a Luddite, but I'm kind of for the TikTok ban. I just think, like, I understand that it's very likely that, like, it could be sold. Who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
But and I'm sure that, like, something else will take its place. But I just think that, like, it would probably help people come to, like, a settling point with overconsumption and, like... kind of this, like, I don't know, it's like I feel like people are geared up and ready for that kind of movement, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like people are kind of waiting, at least in the people that I talk to, and like how they want off of things and like to come back to real life and draw away from that. But I feel like societally we would improve from that. I don't know what the internet would look like without that space at this point, but it just feels like something that is honestly like maybe considered a necessary evil. I don't think it's evil, but
I don't think it's evil either. I think TikTok has done a lot for people in terms of like connecting people. Like the algorithm on that app is nothing like we've ever seen before. I do think it's a lot different than what it used to be. Like I feel like the algorithm's kind of like died down a bit, but it still is an insanely incredible algorithm. But we've already seen the evolution of how a social media app that was so popular left and never came back with Vine.
yeah.
So we've been through something like that before. I think obviously we could all handle it. It's an app.
Yeah.
We can handle if it goes away. But I think in terms of like industry, like the industry that I'm working in currently is advertising, and I market for a brand for TikTok.
Well, but that's also kind of a thing too, is like it's so like involved in our economy at this point. Like I think it would like destabilize a lot of people and a lot of different like brands and companies and stuff, which, you know, like I don't know, I don't really even know how that would translate to what today's economy looks like for that being gone. But it's like it's very hard to decipher, like this is all super new for us to be this dependent on an app like that,
For sure.
because it's also like it's hard to compare it to Vine, because Vine wasn't like, there weren't like brand deals or shit. Like it was purely like fun and entertainment based,
And that's what a lot of creators talked about on Vine. They were like, we don't make money from Vine.
yeah
I think Vine was trying to approach this kind of point in which they would actually pay their creators, but that's why everybody from Vine switched to YouTube, because they wanted more long form content, and YouTube's AdSense was absolutely insane at the time. I mean, YouTube you could still make a shit ton of money off of, but pretty much everyone left because they weren't paying the creators, and the app just couldn't figure out how to get it to work. And in return, the app just didn't work, even though it was an amazing app. But even before Vine ended, they tried to, they brought 3-minute videos to Vine. Remember that? So it was already approaching that long form content thing, and people, I think a lot of people are like, long form content is like the new thing. Long form content has been a thing. YouTube was the first evolution of long form content.
That's what's hard with TikTok though, is like I feel like people are so like and this is kind of broad, like this is hard to even say because I know it's not, like, I don't know. Okay, let me just get into it. I feel like TikTok has become its own like world or universe, like very clearly, like you can say like any person probably has their own niche side of TikTok that they're on, whatever, that like maybe a lot of people don't even know about it, or it's like if you're not in the same circle of everyone consuming the same form of media, it's like you go experience like the world outside of it and it's not the same. Like there's an entire like world and universe, and I think like TikTok has almost been like disconnected from its former things. It's also maybe our own perspectives, because like Gracie and I were both on like the same kind of waves of internet growing up. And I think that that's kind of where we connect so much.
Very California internet.
Yes. No, literally. And it's like I think that maybe even a lot of people just don't know about those corners and like what things used to be. But I think that that's almost like good in a way, is to cut that off, because I just don't really feel like it's headed into a productive engagement of humans. I don't know.
And it's not going to be like, you know, the end of the world if it happens. You don't have to have TikTok to grow. We've seen so many people on social media grow from not TikTok, like Drew and Enya, we've been watching since like 2014 from Vine. Christian Leave, Josh Ovalle. What is it? Josh is his other brother, Josh.
Casey Frey.
Nick Coletti.
All
all these kinds of people, they grew because of themselves. Like, they provided that growth for themselves by just, like, posting on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, even, like, those people that we're talking about, I don't really see them posting on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that are, like, low-key, like, up and famous on social media, a lot of them don't even post on TikTok.
Well, I know fucking Josiah is, because
Josiah needs to get the fuck off TikTok. His little tall cap TikToks.
I'm sorry. I find him so funny anywhere else, but TikTok, I'm like, shut the fuck up every time.
I know, you don't fuck with his TikToks,
angry.
but I'm gonna like it and add it to my favorites every time.
It was, like, funny for a second. Anyways, but I don't know. I think that's also, like, been a conversation for a while. It's, like, not... I don't know. It's become a personality thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I think individualism has become one of the biggest things, is that like everybody's in like influencer or
Right.
something now, and it's just like
The micro influencers. I think that's
Yeah.
like really like the best
Bye.
thing about bye.
Bye.
Fucking bye.
sorry,
Sorry.
maybe
y'all.
that'll be us soon, though.
Goodbye. Literally us. I
But-
don't know. It's just like people like building their full itineraries for vacations from TikToks. Like literally, people will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to all these spots that I found on TikTok," and it's just like,
It's so
first of all, these
inauthentic.
places, let them breathe.
Yeah.
Let those places breathe.
See, like this whole
Let
trip.
Siddells have a break.
No, seriously. But like this whole trip, it's like that's, and not to like get on my high horse, but like this whole trip, I've been like, it's hard because I'm from California, so I can
Right.
like, it's like I don't know. I'm even exploring new places that I've never been, or like staying in a place where I've never been. Well, I've been, but not like that. But it's like, personally, I feel like when you travel, it should be about experiencing a place, and I think I've always believed this, but like going to those overpopulated areas is just not fun because you're seeing other tourists.
Yeah.
Or like,
You're gonna be like, "Oh, damn! Like I'm a part of the experience right now. That's not my own."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're in the middle of nowhere right now. Like no one else is. I mean, I'm not saying no one else is gonna have this experience, but like no one else is going to. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I just think like going on vacation, I don't really like to prioritize having too many plans.
Yeah.
Because then you set yourself to kind of bite yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
When you don't fulfill all those plans, you can become really stressed out or unhappy or unfulfilled. And you should just go and enjoy a place. Maybe be like, I want to maybe go to blank, blank, blank. And if we don't, we don't. I just want to experience a place with a person or by myself.
And go
that's
immerse
it.
yourself. When I went to
Yeah.
Chicago back in January, like I was waiting for my dad to get in from the airport because we met up, and I was like, I had a couple hours to kill. I
Right.
just sat at a coffee shop and like observed all these people in Chicago, and it was like, it's so fun. Like I don't know. I just like to go like sit. I think that's a really fun way to travel that I think a lot of people would
People
benefit
watching.
from. Yeah, people watch as fuck, but like just getting out there, being around different cultures and itineraries
Yes.
and people, even like when you're in different countries
Yes,
too.
like exactly. Like when I go to Europe, like when I go with like a big group of people, they want to like do a bunch of different things, and I'm like, I just want to go sit at a cafe with a glass of wine, and I want to talk to the local that's been working there for 35 years.
Exactly.
I just want to chill. I just want
Yeah.
to chill. I want to enjoy, and I want to feel like I'm a part of the experience of their life
Exactly.
instead of curating my own.
Yeah. I was talking about that with somebody recently too, not that long ago. Like, it's you don't just like go places or areas anymore. You go for this specific thing, and that's so hard. Is like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go sit down at a restaurant that I already pre-picked out. I like stumbling across things. I think that's the most fun. Or like, I don't know, using your maps. Like, I don't know.
Pull out the paper map.
Pull up
Y'all
the
saw us
paper
in the
map.
video. Pull out
Yeah.
the paper map. We know how to use the paper map.
We did not.
We don't know how to use a paper
We
map.
literally, that's the whole fucking video. Is us not knowing how to use a goddamn paper map.
Well, Yap City, Yap City is global, baby. But
Yeah.
Yap City is here. Yap City is there. Yap City is everywhere.
Worldwide. Yeah.
So tune in for Yap City.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Yeah. We should wrap it there. Perfect. All right. Awesome. That was a fun one.